Did you know that your kiddos' hydration actually impacts their cloth diapers? Yup, it's true, and with the summer months upon us, hydration is really important. So that's why we are talking about Hydration Matters on Thirsties Live. So, thank you everyone for joining us for our nice little cloth diaper chat today. Yes, my name is Laura and I am Thirsty's social media coordinator. And yeah, I've got a couple of little props here to get our conversation going. But the most important one I have is water. Why? Okay, so first off, I think I'm gonna stand and do my little talk. I thought I'd figure I'd be outside because, you know, hey, it's really, really nice outside. Thank you so much for joining us on Thirsties Live. If you guys didn't know, every Friday we go live right here on the Thirsties Play page with a fun little cloth diaper chat. Today we're talking about hydration matters, and it's so beautiful outside, and so I figure, hey, why not do this chat outside, right? Because it's kind of seasonal. But did you know this is actually a topic that's going to be important even come the winter time, especially when sick season starts, because the main reason for dehydration, especially in infants or young kiddos, is actually sickness, or especially when you have like diarrhea happening, vomiting. But anytime your baby is outputting a lot, whether that be sweat from heat, you know, being hot outside, or whether they're sick, you have got to watch their hydration very, very carefully. Someone is asking me about the shirt, Anna. So this is our Happy Camper shirt. We had a run of these go out, I would say in 2017, but I don't think they're available anymore. However, that brings up a kind of a nice little side note. Exactly what Donna's saying. You have to monitor your child's hydration very carefully. Quick little side note, we'll finish this and then we'll jump into the chat. If you wanted a Thirsty shirt, what would you want on it? Would you want kind of like a cloth advocacy type quote? Of course, we'd put some kind of adorable Thirsties design, things like that. But yeah, what would you want on a shirt? Okay, that aside, done. Let's talk about here's how we're going to break down our chat. We're going to talk about kind of the impact of your child's hydration on their diapers, or some things that you might notice. Cloth advocacy. Yeah, I would too. And then we're going to talk about signs of dehydration in your kiddo. And then last, we're going to finish up our chat talking about ways that you can help prevent your kid from becoming dehydrated. Okay, so, all right, here we go. So what goes into your baby, this makes sense, it impacts what comes out of their baby. And then that, of course, impacts your cloth, right? Okay, and actually this is one benefit of cloth diapering that we don't think about a lot. Donna was talking about monitoring, and when you cloth diaper, you are intimately acquainted with what's coming out of your child, right? Because you're washing it, you're changing them, you're not just changing and throwing it and forgetting it. You notice what's going on more with your child, because if they've pooped, you gotta spray it. And so, I mean, isn't it amazing how well acquainted we become with what's coming out of our kiddos, right? Yeah, the birds chirping, it is pretty serene out here. I've got my nice little bird feeder spot back there, and yeah, I'm a little bit of a bird nerd. But, okay, so the more dehydrated your child becomes, the more concentrated their urine is, the smellier their urine will be. And also, dehydration will impact their stools as well. Number one, it might make them constipated. So that's something to watch out for, okay? Also, it seems to be, I was talking with our customer service gal, Jessica. It seems to be, so what happens with urine when it starts to break down, it turns into ammonia. And it seems like that really concentrated urine that from a dehydrated child seems to produce more ammonia quick and faster too. Okay, so now that the summer months are upon us, you also want to be sure that you're washing every other day. If you can extend how far between washes you go in the wintertime, I would not mess with it in the summer. Why? Because you've got heat and lots of other stuff. So, but one thing that I've noticed in the groupies is sometimes people will talk about my kids' pee just is much more intense. It smells different. Okay, couple of things that happen with that. As babies get older, they urinate less frequently. Okay, so their urine becomes more concentrated. That's kind of a normal growing baby thing. But you should be having wet diapers at least one every 6 hours, okay? That's kind of, if you're talking to a pediatrician and you're concerned about your child, they're going to be asking you about how many wet diapers they're producing, and you've got to monitor that. You should, even if your kiddo is getting close to potty training, one every 6 hours, that's a pretty good rule of thumb, okay? Another thing too, and this word, I'm just going to touch on it because we're talking about what goes into your baby affects what comes out. Did you know also that if your child's body pH is off, that can also impact what you're seeing in their diapers. It can make them smellier. So alkaline foods are really good to help balance that out. Things like bananas, potatoes, spinach, fig, watermelon. Watermelon is a magical summer fruit because, especially if you have a kiddo that, you know, isn't crazy about drinking water all the time, watermelon is a really good, it helps balance the pH, it gives them a lot of water, but yeah, so be mindful of what's going in, okay? All right, and we'll of course talk more at the end about ways to prevent dehydration from happening. But how do you know, and this is an important thing, especially for first-time parents to think about, is, well, how do I know if my baby is dehydrated? A lot of this is kind of just common sense, being aware of your baby, where they are. If you're gonna be outside in the heat with them, make sure that you dress them in light, loose clothing, okay? Keep them in the shade. If your baby is really young and maybe they're just nursing or they're just bottle fed, be sure that you're feeding them more often, okay? That's really important hydration for them, okay? If they're a little older, then you can maybe start supplementing with water, but just be mindful of where they are. Yeah, if it smells off, too, so you'll notice I talked about before, one diaper in every 6 hours. That's like the bare minimum, okay? And we recommend that you're checking your diapers at least every 2 hours. Now, as your baby grows and changes, they'll be able to hold their urine for longer, and that's natural development. But I'm talking about, you know, where your baby is right now. You know how often you're needing to change their diaper. So you're aware of kind of what's normal for your kid. So always keep that in mind, right? So a decrease in wet diapers is a sign of dehydration. Some other signs of dehydration: dry mouth, or the elasticity of their skin is decreased. Sleepiness, irritability, just kind of seeming off, right? That could be a sign of dehydration. Especially, you got to keep those context clues in mind. If you this is one thing that some of our moms notice when they send their kiddos to daycare, is that they aren't getting as much drinks as they would at home with them. So, maybe that's something that you talk about with your daycare provider. But just keep in mind kind of what is their situation, where are they, how much have they been drinking, how much are they, are they playing really hard, are they sweating? Keep all of those things in mind. Let's see, 19 months, loves water, will keep a sippy. Oh, good. Yeah. Some kiddos love sippies. And like I said, if you've got a young baby and you're nursing, all they need is mom's milk, and that is fine. Just increase it, and also be sure that you, mom, nursing mother, are being hydrated too, right? Or if you're bottle feeding, be sure that you increase the number of bottles that they're offered, okay? All right, now here are some really kind of scarier signs of dehydration. If your child, and this is the situation, like they probably have diarrhea or they're vomiting, they're outputting a lot and you're just trying to keep fluids coming in. If their eyes look sunken in, or the soft spot in their head, that little soft spot, if that looks sunken in, you need to go to the emergency room, okay? If your baby is showing some severe signs of dehydration, absolutely get on that nurse line as soon as possible. They'll probably want to see your kid. Kiddos, little ones, they get dehydrated fast, and you need to take it seriously, okay? So be sure that if you are worried about that, that you get medical professional help. Okay, so dehydration is a serious thing. Hydration matters, especially with little kids. They get dehydrated way faster than adults do. All right, so now let's talk about, does anyone have any questions, or does anyone have any experience with a dehydrated kid? How did you keep fluids up for your kiddo, especially if they were sick? What did you do to kind of help that hydration happen? I'm going to continue talking and give you a couple of just easy tips for avoiding dehydration. One, in the summertime, avoid overheating. We've got all those fabulous Thirsty Swim diapers out. Lather on the sunscreen, get them in the pool, keep them in the shade. Just have fun in the sun, but be safe and be careful about it, right? Okay, another thing, and I've already been saying this throughout the whole live, and I'm going to do it again, is increase fluid intake. Now, like I said, if you've got an infant and you're nursing, they don't need water. If they're under 6 months old, they probably don't need water, or supplemental things like that. All they need is your breast milk, okay? Especially if this is like, you've just got like maybe a hot day outside with them, just increase how much you're nursing them, right? Nurse on demand, yes. Yeah, they'll know. And thirst, like if your kid is extra thirsty, kind of that irritability, that fussiness, like often, a bottle will fix that. The boob will fix that. Nurse, 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 right? Oh, you had a sick toddler who refused to eat and drink, ended up in the hospital with IV fluid. Yeah, it's serious. It goes down fast. It can be hard to keep on top of it too when you have a sick kid. So now, as your kid gets older, say you have a 6-month-old and you're needing to kind of up their intake, you can talk to your doctor about maybe getting them their own little sippy cup, maybe supplementing a little bit with water. But again, like I said, nursing is going to be, or their bottle is going to be their primary fluid intake, right? As they start getting older too, fruit can be a really great way to get hydration into kids. Like peaches, strawberries, cantaloupe, oranges, pineapple, all of those fruits are 80% water. Watermelon, I don't know what the percentage of water is in watermelon, but that is a great fruit to give for hydration. Sometimes puts lemon slices. Yes. Okay. So make it fun too. If they're not crazy about water, you know, and there's really no reason to give a kid juice. Or maybe if you do, I always water down any kind of juice that I give my kid, but make fun little infusions in your water. So here, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I just got a bunch of mint leaves from my garden, and my daughter's a fan of mint. She really digs this. My son isn't. In his, I would put more like berries and things like that. But you can make really fun tasting water just with things from your own garden or from the produce section. So make it fun. This is for keeping older kids hydrated. Oh yeah, my mom was talking, Mary Hershey here. Good response to the topic. Yeah, this is an important topic. It certainly is, especially for summer. Another thing that helps too, well, this really helped with my son, but getting them their own water bottle. Maybe they help pick it out. Fun reusable straws. For me to get my daughter to drink more, I just need to have a beverage, my own beverage, and then she'll want to steal it from me because it always tastes better if it comes from mom's cup. Although, since my mother is watching this live, I totally did that to her all the time, and she's probably gonna comment about that. But yeah, it's always, we make it fun by drinking out of mommy's water. Yes, yeah. It's always more fun if it's yours, right? Another thing too is you can make fun popsicles. Smash up a bunch of fruit, put it in ice. I mean, oh my goodness, if you go onto Pinterest and you search like homemade popsicles, there are a bunch of fun little molds and things like that. And yeah, popsicles is a great way, especially if you have a kid that's like, water. I personally, my hydration tip, I drink much more if I'm drinking out of a straw. So I always have to have a mommy sippy. And two, like, lead by example. If they see you like, oh, guys, we got to take a water break, then they're, you know, if you're doing it in front of them, they're going to be following your suit. And they're also going to be stealing your water bottle because that's just the way it goes. Another thing too you can do is fun shaped ice cubes, or if you have a way to like get like shaved ice or chipped ice, have that be something that they play with, and that they, you know, can eat. Watch that they're not like chewing on the ice, so maybe make sure that it's kind of finely shaved ice. But that's really a fun way to play and also to hydrate at the same time and cool off on a summer's day. And smoothies, homemade smoothies. That's like one of my favorite lunches in the summertime is smoothies with, I don't know, I usually do like chips and guac or something on the side. But make it fun. Lead by example. There are all kinds of, what's your favorite, actually, here's a good question. What is your favorite sippy or water bottle for your kids? We've had good luck. I've got this Camelback one. I also really love the no spill sippy cups, the no spill lids. I should have brought that out. That's a really good cup. But yeah, put in the comments, what's your favorite way to stay hydrated? Hopefully this was a helpful topic. Now, if your baby is dehydrated and you're noticing your diapers kind of, the best thing you can do is rinse all of your diapers. If you're also, though, little thing, the difference between dehydrated and regular like baby diaper, okay, is as it sits, how strong does it smell? If your diapers are smelling right away when baby pees on them, and I'm talking like an intense smell, that means that you have some kind of a wash issue. So assuming you don't have any wash issues, and you've got a solid wash routine going, then if you're noticing your diapers like, these are stronger than usual, start rinsing them, okay? Before you rinse them, wring them out, because that will help remove some of the urine so that ammonia doesn't like set up. And before you put in your, wet bag or your dry pail, okay? And if you are having like a really intense smell as soon as baby pees, that means that you need to tweak your wash routine, because your diapers should not smell, like a barnyard right away. Okay, but that's a whole nother topic. But in general, assuming your wash routine is all set, if you're noticing that it's more intense, or even you can sometimes see inside, like especially if you have like a natural fiber diaper, like this is our natural all-in-one, if you're seeing yellow, that means your baby needs to drink more, right? Okay, so if you're noticing coloration when they're peeing, get them more. If as they sit, they're smelling stronger, that could just be summertime, and heat and all of that. But it also could mean that you've got more concentrated pee, which means you might have a dehydrated kiddo. So rinse those diapers, wring them out, wash every other day. And we've got a whole bunch. If you go onto our video library on Facebook, or you go to our YouTube channel, we have a bunch of videos about washing your cloth diapers, some basic videos on that, or you can always go on to thirstiesbaby.com, and we've got a really great customer center that has our whole suggested wash routine. And two, if you're looking for more cloth diaper advice, join the Thirsties groupies. We have an awesome, really supportive Facebook group that, tons of experience there, women and men that want to see you succeed in cloth diapering. Yes, Tylenol some kiddos, we're talking about like colored pee, some kiddos, when they take Tylenol, the way that their body reacts to it, it stains their diapers. It's almost like, what color is it? I'm trying to remember. My kids didn't ever react to Tylenol that way. Is it almost like a rust or a purplish color? Yeah. What goes in affects what comes out, that's for sure. It really is. So, all right, well, we've got lots of great advice on this Facebook Live video about sippy cups. Hopefully you guys have ideas of what to watch out for with dehydration. Ashley's saying that the Tylenol is, I think you're right. Like it's like an orange or a rust type color that can happen. But hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Next week on Thirsties Live, we are going to be giving some advice for building your first cloth diaper stash. So, I just had a bug fly on my back. But if you know someone that is new to cloth diapering, be sure to tell them about next week's chat, because it's going to be all tips for helping you figure out how to build a cloth diaper stash that you're going to love. So, and of course, we're here every Friday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So No matter the topic, hopefully it's helpful to you guys. We love that you take time out of your day to see this. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and share it. And we will see you guys next week on Thirsties Live. All right. Happy cloth diapering, everyone. Bye.